I want to start out by introducing myself. Most people call me Mom. Some people call me Miss Carol. I'm from Ocala, Florida. I've been here for about 7 years. And I wanted to put together some videos to go on YouTube. Um, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not technology literate, so bear with me. But this is all about who you are, what you can offer, and who out there is listening and can understand a way that people can relate to you. I don't have fancy ties and fancy suits and big studio and fancy microphones. I don't care nothing about all that. Okay? I'm here to talk to you, to be honest, on a one on one personal level as a friend. Not just a friend, but somebody that cares about what happens, not just to you, but each and every one of us. Okay? So, therefore, I grew up in the Midwest. Okay? When people believed in whooping their kids, yeah, that's right, I said it. I got plenty of them. And you know what? Some of y'all kids need a whole bunch of whoopings too. But therefore, times and society has changed. Okay? And you wonder why our kids are going up into the schools and shooting other students like they ain't got no sense. I grew up in a town that had two stoplights, two schools, three banks, a Sonic, and a Pizza Hut. You had to go, heaven forbid, if your shoes were too small for the Christmas program because you got to go 45 minutes out of town just to find a new pair of shoes if you can find them. Here's the thing. Our kind of fun was toboggan in the wintertime, tying inner tubes to ropes on the back of four-wheel drives, going fishing, having bonfires, playing music all hours of the night, out in the middle of nowhere, sitting out by the fire and talking about God knows what and not having to worry about nothing. You can leave your house unlocked and the keys in your car. Everybody's parents knew everybody, and heaven forbid you want to date somebody, you better do a background check because I assure you, you're probably related. But the reason I wanted to do this video is therefore I watch things on YouTube. I have for 2-3 years now, give or take. Actually, it probably started about 3 years ago, and I'll tell you the reason that it started. The older I got and the more that I chilled out, and I come to realize that we're here in this world for a different purpose than our own selfish reasons, and therefore that is a whole nother story in itself at another time. I have, my life has been very hard, it's been very rough, but I thank the Lord, and for whatever reason, He feels like that there's certain things that I'm capable of doing that maybe other people may understand, or maybe there's more people out there like me that are need a little bit of extra pushing, I guess, because I do march to my own drum. Yep, that's right. My tuba may be off key. I do not care. And I may have to march to that drum by myself. And I'm okay with walking that road by myself, okay? So, therefore, I've been watching a lot of um, biblical things pertaining to the end of days, right along with a lot of the worldly things that is going on around us. Highly concerned. The reason I'm highly concerned is because I'm not just a mother, I'm somebody's wife. I'm a grandmother with five grandbabies. My bad. I have 5 grandbabies. Okay? I am somebody's sister. I am somebody's best friend. And therefore, the things that are floating around out there, they're kind of frightening. Okay? I haven't stepped up and done this video prior to now because it's kind of, it's emotional for me. And there's times when I have to come to grips with no matter what goes on in this world, God has it under control. okay? Regardless whether it has to do with my grandbabies, my children, my husband, my brother, my sister, my mama, my daddy. He got it all under control. And I have to look at things a little bit differently after some of the things that I have experienced, okay? I will get into several videos about several visions that I have had that I really want people to really open their eyes and do your research, okay? Stop worrying about your pants hanging down to the ground, the music that you listen to about hoes and drug dealing and bitches and this, that, and the other, and Lord, please forgive me for my language, but it's true. It is so true. Sometimes when I go pick my daughter up from the kangaroos before she gets off work, I look out amongst the crowd and I think, oh, good Lord, these people don't have a clue. You're too busy out there impressing people with your fancy cars, your money, wearing your pants to the ground. You think partying and sleeping around and doing whatever it is that you're doing, popping Molly, you think you're cool? Well, I got news for you. You ain't cool, okay? Because cool is the ones that know what's going on around them, where they are educated enough to help others. This is where I'm at. My life has not been simple, and one day I will give you a full testimony of how I ended up where I'm at today. Okay? But not today. Complicated. But therefore, these things have been going on with me for quite some time now. I want to point out that I'm hearing a lot of talk on the internet about a tsunami hitting the East Coast. I want to clarify something, okay? I want to clarify something to do with this tsunami hitting the East Coast. I had this vision back in March of 2014, before it ever became a phenomenon on the internet. I didn't go around telling a whole lot of people. I wrote it down in a book because it seemed kind of strange. There's a difference between visions and dreams, to help you to understand a little bit. A dream is so far more different than a vision. A vision to me is if you go to bed at night time, somehow or another, it's like somebody or something has taken you somewhere else, and everything that goes on with you when you're awake, from feel to touch to smell to see to whatever is going on around you, it goes on in that vision for whatever reason. I've been having these visions for a while. I just ain't quite filtered or sorted through, because there's some connections I'm not making, therefore it just may not be time for me to make those connections yet. But I do know that they're all intertwined together. But back in March of 2014, I went to bed about 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. You know, that's all there is to it. Oh, I always look forward to going to bed. But anyway, it was as though somebody had come and they came and got me. And they took me somewhere that I'd never been before. And I found myself standing on the East Coast on the beach, on the shoreline. I could see the water. Oh, it was a beautiful day. I could feel the sun, the warmth. I could see the green on the trees. I could feel the wind blowing in my hair. And all of a sudden, it was like the atmosphere changed. And I'm looking out across the ocean, and the ocean pulls back. All I see is dry land. And I look up in the air, and the wind picks up. And I could feel the wind in my hair. And as I looked up towards the heavens, I saw red blurs, ambers, hot ambers flowing in the air. And I thought, what on earth is this about? And so I stood there, and I looked back out towards the shore. There's still, the water hadn't come in yet. And all of a sudden, when I closed my eyes, the weight of the water hit me on a paranormal level. I never saw it, but I could feel it. And when I say phenomenal, people, you better wake up and listen, because there's something very funky going on here. And when I tell you a phenomenal disaster, when I am told that people will lay sleep in the streets, oh, they ain't asleep, they did. There's a whole bunch of them dead because they didn't listen. And I'm telling you, you better listen, because I didn't give it much thought either until I started keeping a journal and I started hearing other people talk about it. This is really going to happen, and this is about to happen. We don't have times, we don't have dates, because we don't know. Because anybody that's caught up in the finagle can call out to God whether they mean it or not. But He wants you to come forth. Why? Because He wants you to do it. Because you want to, not because you're stuck in a bad situation. Come on, people. And I want to explain something to you. Right before I woke up, I was shown the state of Florida in a horizontal, like it was on the map, but in horizontal letters, in capital letters, down the state of Florida. It's an Florida. I thought, okay, what does that got to do with me? And then I thought about it for a second. Please tell me that this tsunami that's going to hit the East Coast is not going to be, it's really going to be that phenomenal that it's going to come all the way down into Florida. Are you serious right now? I have grandbabies. I really don't want to be in Florida. And I suggest that you people don't take this lightly. Because therefore, you keep ignoring the fact. That's just like all these people that claim that they've been abducted by aliens. Come on, seriously, right now? Out of millions of people, somebody, at least 5 of those people are telling the truth. And aliens, we won't even get into that right now because they're not aliens, and I don't care what anybody says. I've seen them. I've been there. I've experienced it. And these things aren't aliens, guys. And you are going to find out. There's so much that I want to share with you, but I really want to stress those of you on the Northeast Coast, and I know a lot of you are just like me. I'm hollering at you on the East Coast, and I'm down here stuck in Florida like a moron. Why? Because I understand finances. Why? Because I understand trying to get a loan from a bank that won't loan you no money to buy land. Hey, if you doing the right thing, just know that even God said some of us will endure. It's okay to endure. It really is. Because somewhere along the line, there is going to be somebody out there that's going to need your help. And you know what? If you're not there, you can't help it. Just know that each and every individual, we're warriors. And if you believe in God, He has picked the strong to survive the storms that are ahead. He says, go out and gather my flock. Okay, if that's what you want me to do, I don't know how good I'm going to be at it or how well they're going to understand me or whatever the case may be, but if that's what you say, then okay. I want y'all to think the same way. Because you know what? The day and time and age that we live in, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a tsunami that's going to hit the East Coast. And I was also told that the first tsunami, oh yeah, I said first, you heard me. The first tsunami is going to come down as far as Jacksonville or Daytona in Orlando, Florida. That, my friends, is going to be a warning sign for the people in Florida to get out of Florida, because if you don't, I'm telling you what, there's going to be another one. Yep, I show you. There's actually going to be 3 tsunamis. One that's going to hit the coast of California, one that's going to hit northeast, and one that is going to come up through the bottom of Miami, Florida. And that was serious. And when I say serious, it is going to break Florida off at the state line, probably all the way up to Atlanta, Georgia. This state gonna go underwater, and I ain't trying to be here. Do you understand me? So I suggest that, guys, I suggest that you do your studying, because there's so much I want to tell you, and I want to come forth, and I want to try to reach as many people as I can possibly reach, because this is the time of preparation, and therefore we're running out of time. And when I say out of time, I can't give you dates. I wish I could. I wish I could take your place. Or I wish that I could make things different in your life, because I'm the type of person, I'm only one individual. I'm a nobody. But therefore, if I could take your place, I'm only one person. Pick me so everybody else can go to heaven. I'm good. But you know what, honey, sir, mom, grandma, we're not okay. We're not okay. We have enemies in our own state. And when I say enemies, they are going to come up against the United States of America people. Do expect bullets in the back of your husband's bag. Expect your daughters to be raped. Expect your grandbabies to starve to death if you don't get it together. Now, I don't know if y'all want to tune in and listen to what else that I have to say, but I'm going to continue to make these videos, and I don't have no fancy equipment and no fancy background and no studio, and I really don't care. Because therefore, if y'all don't start taking this seriously, I suggest that y'all buy some scuba gear, because y'all gonna be in trouble. And when I say in trouble, we're talking over 100,000 people. 100,000 people that are gonna lose their life. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just saying, people, in today's time and age, it's just not the time to be playing. I'm not perfect. I have my own demons in my own closet, obviously. But you know what? My soul remains the same. You know, I don't really care if the government's listening in, if they tapping in. It's whatever. Because therefore, this is what's wrong with the people today. Nobody's saying anything. Because why? Because they don't think that they have enough to make a difference. And, you know, I have to give, you know, and I know everybody has their flaws, and everybody cannot be on point all the time. But I have to give people like Alex Jones, I have to give him his props. At least he's standing up for the people. What are you doing? Seriously. I'm trying to figure out what it is I'm supposed to be doing. And therefore, I'm trying to get it together, because therefore, I want to be an important part in God's army, and I suggest that you do the same. If you don't know how to grow a garden, I suggest you learn it. If you don't know how to filter water, I suggest you get it together. You don't know what riots are, and you don't know what it's like to lose your freedom, and you are definitely not going to know what it's like to be separated from your children or your grandbabies, or maybe you just don't have enough food to feed them. It's happening, people. Excuse me, because I know God ain't got no time for tears, for real. It's irrelevant. It is heart-rending for me because I look at my grandbabies every day and I think, oh my gosh, will I know what to do in order for them to survive this? And I lay in my bed every night and I tell God, Lord, these children belong to you. You gave them to me to maintain. Don't let people do means to my babies. Don't allow them to suffer. And I don't want them to starve to death. So if you have to take them home, you go ahead. And so every day, I look at my babies. And I think, thank you, Jesus. Thank you that you gave me this time with them because our time is short. But I'd rather you take them home than to be here and to endure what this selfish, no good, self-centered world has to offer you. And you know what? If you can't even say something nice to somebody, seriously, it's not complicated. And just because somebody tells you the truth don't mean you have to justify as to why you're doing the things that you're doing. Because there's no room for justification right now. When he says major disasters, my visions are getting closer and closer together, which means time is running shorter and shorter and shorter. I have to ask myself, how many people that's going to watch this video that this is going to reach out and touch, that I'm not going to post anything else until I see comments about you want to hear what I have to offer, because see, I've got a lot to offer. I'm just no country girl. I believe in whoopings. I believe in black-eyed peas and cornbread, homemade strawberry shortcake. And if you believe the same, I suggest, if you watch my video, comment. And I'll post more on there. Because see, this is not over. And I give you some highlights, some hints. These FEMA camps that y'all be talking about, you better wake up. You better wake up, because they're not FEMA camps. I've seen them. I've had the visions. There's people here on U.S. soil that ain't got no business being here. They're watching us like prey because we're a bunch of darn dum-dums. Too worried about the latest fashion. Who's sleeping with who gonna do this, who's not doing this. Your kids are acting like a bunch of heathens and pagans, running around, disrespecting their parents, shooting up the darn schools. And you wonder why this is happening. If you want to tune in, you want to hear my testimony and my story, click like and let me know. Because you know what? Saving one is better than saving none. And see, I'm just like the best friend next door. I ain't perfect, and if I cuss, Lord and behold, please forgive me, because see, it happens sometimes. Because I get so frustrated because my heart is sad. Because these people know not what they have done. And you know what? What they call us little people, we don't get caught in the crossfire. That's the whole point of population reduction. Hello? We're nobodies. But we're somebody to the Lord Jesus Christ. And you know what? We will be the ones that will rise up. And you know what? He's coming, and he's coming to get us. But I need to know that y'all want to know what I know. I need to hear your comments. I want to hear some praise God, and we want to hear more, and we want to hear what you have to say. I don't claim to be a prophet, and I don't claim to be a saint, because I'm far from it. But I do claim to be a warrior, and whether I do right or wrong, I'm going to tell you. Because see, I got some bones to clean up in my own darn closet. It ain't no secret. But you know what? It doesn't mean that I don't believe. So therefore, I am going to try this whole YouTube thing, and I'm going to be hollering and listening out for y'all. And you know what? I'll even take private phone calls. You know, because this is about reaching one individual at a time. And we're going to talk about food lines. And we're going to talk about foreigners being on U.S. soil. They ain't got no business being here. We're going to talk about the chip and one world currency. I've seen it. I've had visions, and this has been going on for quite some time. Clearwater, Florida, you better hold your heads up, because you know what? Y'all gonna get one too. It's gonna come in from the bottom of Miami, way past Puerto Rico. They're gonna be another tsunami, and guess what? Clearwater, you in the line of fire. Line of fire, my people. And here's the thing, I'm only one person, but we have all got to stand up and take a stand. And I'm not saying go out there and fight the whole government and fight everybody on the block, and sometimes you just want to. You just want to punch people in the throat because they ain't got no common sense. That's not what I'm saying. I'm calling for prayer. We're calling for warriors. We're calling for pulling together and helping educate and teach other people how to get away from the cities, grow their own food, see about their babies, teach them at home. If somebody knows about some property that can be owner financed somewhere, I don't know, somewhere in the foothills, please, by all means, let us know, because see, we all over that. But my friends, in all due honesty, a lot of this stuff has nothing to do with the flesh, because we all know that we are filthy in the flesh. But you know what? You have to pick a side. You're on one side or the other. And you know what? You can take one of your funky little guillotines and cut my head off, because I'm going to tell you what, the answer's still the same. I know who my creator is. And you know what? If he says that he's going to protect me, and I'm going to go into the kingdom of God, or if he sends me into the brunt of the war and tells me to take out 10,000 men, that's what I'm going to do. And so I suggest you do the same thing. I suggest that you start preparing. I suggest that you get it together, and I suggest that you start listening and paying attention and reading your Bible and corresponding what is going on in today's time of world and what is lining up with the Bible. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. And there'll be some things that I will be talking about, like the Sabbath. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's up with that, people? You going to church on Sunday? Why? That's not even the Sabbath. So I don't even understand why in the tarnation, why we're even talking about, oh, I went to church on Sunday. Come on now. We'll get into that another time. But I'm not here to recommend nobody. I'm not here to judge nobody. Because you know what? I didn't know this at one time or point in my life either. But for some reason or another, God has chosen me. And sometimes I lay in bed and I thought, really, God? Are you serious? I am the wrong one. He said, no. He said, you're the right one. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes I think I'll be getting on his nerves. But I understand what he's trying to do. Because there are a lot of people out there like me. We don't pre-plan. We change with the change of the wind. Whatever happens, happens. God protects us. We be all right and just be just as ridiculous as we could possibly be. But there are people out there that I'm trying to reach, because my heart is sad. Because, see, I understood why Jesus did what he did. If therefore I could do the same thing just so everybody could go to heaven, I would do that for each and every individual. And you know what? The world needs to have a whole lot more people like that, because of the simple fact that if we were like that, the world would be a whole better place than what it is. But you guys are fighting battles, entities that you don't even have a clue. Some of you do. I don't want to sit there and just say absolutely nobody has a clue. Some of y'all don't have a clue. These are battles that you can't fight by yourself. And I'm out there not only to mentor, I will take personal phone calls, I will take emails, I will cry with you, I will laugh with you, that I will try to help you work through the things that you can do. That I want you to know, I'm feeling like I'm trapped in Ocala, Florida right now too, and I ain't trying to be here. No ma'am. Nope. But therefore, like I told my husband the other day, if we are here, I suggest that we invest in some boats and some scuba gear, because we're going to be in trouble. But I also know that I have to trust that God knows what he's doing. And I suggest that y'all do the same thing. So please, 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 please check out my new YouTube page. Check it out. Hear me out. If you want to hear more, guys, I really want to hear your comments, because of the simple fact that, if I know something that you don't know, I want to help you with it. I want to help you get where you're going. I don't have a lot to offer, but you know what? Prayer is a heck of a thing. And you know what? When people start pulling together like they should have been doing the whole entire time, this world will be a whole lot better place than what it is. We can't fight everything, but you know what? We can help each other. We can help each other. We can provide shelter for other people. We can provide food for young children that are starving. Right here in our own state, it's going to happen. Oh yeah. You don't even know. It is going to happen, and it is going to surface. And you can forget about it. You will not be able to buy nor sell. Okie dokie. We'll get into that at a later time too. But therefore, I don't want to talk too much, but I want you to check out my video. And if you want to hear more about food lines, concentration camps, planes falling out of the sky, tsunamis, being separated from your children, let me know that you want to hear more. I just don't want to hear that I want to hear more. I want to reach out on a personal level to each and every individual, because you know what? Right now I feel like a sitting duck. A sitting duck. I done had the vision, and I'm a sitting duck sitting down in Florida trying to figure out how in the world I'm going to get to the country. You're not by yourself, okay? You're not by yourself. And therefore, God said He's going to see about His people. I can't sit around and worry about it. I got to do my part, and my part is reaching out to others that are sitting around in fear, because this very well may be a probability. That's what I'm for. I can't promise you the world, but I can promise you God cares about His people, okay? And there's some other things that I would tell you that will hopefully soften the blow. But therefore, hey, I'm out from Ocala, Florida. I want to hear your comments. If you need somebody to listen to you, or you have questions, hey, send me a personal message. I'll call you, or you can call me, and we'll discuss and laugh and carry on and figure it out together. But this is what the United States was supposed to be based off of, working together as a whole. Well, we really screwed that up, didn't we? Of course we did. Why would we expect any less? But therefore, I want to say God bless, and I pray and hope that each and every individual finds peace, finds the Lord, and finds their way to a new beginning that is about to come upon the world. Thank you, and I hope to hear from each and every one of you. God bless.